Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different than what I typically do here, but I hope every one of you enjoyed your holidays and are still continuing to enjoy them. And in today's video, I'm going to be giving you all a showcase of all my diecast cars that I've collected within the last year, plus a couple of new ones that I recently picked up. Now, this is somewhat in order from last year to the most recent ones, with including the new ones that I just purchased, which I'll show you guys towards the end. But with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and let's get started. So the first vehicle I'm going to showcase to you guys today is going to be the Speed Racer. I believe this is a Hot Wheels vehicle that I've had now for probably close to 15 years. This is a very unique car, very cool looking. The underbody of it still looks very much brand new, and as you can see, it does look really, really nice. So, like I said, I've had this now for close to or roughly 15 years now, and it does look really, really impressive. And it has aged pretty well too. Next up is going to be this one here, which is a turbo, or they call it a turbo model. Not exactly sure where I got this one from. Might be from Matchbox, could be from CBS, but I've had this roughly around the same time as that Speed Racer one. As you can see, it basically resembles sort of like a Formula One car, but in its own respects, it does look pretty cool no matter how you see it. So to me, this one here looks really impressive, and certainly it does look quite nice as well. Moving on, we are going to the Ford Lightning. Now, this, of course, is a pretty unique model in the sense that it's a... Sorry about that, guys, but as you can see, like I was saying, it's a pretty unique model in the sense that it's a all-electric truck. And despite the controversy that it first went through when this went on sale, when these went on sale, they still look pretty nice. And this is I believe, a Matchbox model with the moving parts, because you can open up the... I think you should be able to open up the trunk of this one. No, it's not. No, it's just a regular Matchbox, not a Matchbox moving parts model. Next up, we go to probably one of the most unique vehicles of the year, and this, of course, is the Hummer EV truck. Now, this is a Hot Wheels model, and there were several of these in different colors, but you know what the heck, you get it in the pressed color, which is in white. It looks amazing. The detail of it's really good. It's held up very well, and as you can see, it even has the little roof thing off of there, which looks nice. And of course, this does look pretty good too. So to me, I am pretty stoked about that, and it does look really, really good. Next up, we go to Volkswagen and the new ID Buzz. This, of course, is now on sale if you want to actually go ahead and look into actually buying one for yourself. But these, I've always liked the look of them, especially the ones if you were around in the 70s and you remember the retro version of these cars. This just looks like a evolutionary version of that model here. Again, the ID Buzz in this kind of unique triple combo color of, you have the black roof here, the white little trim, and then you have the yellow base, which to me just looks pretty amazing. And it's fared out pretty well in the time that I've had it. Next up, we move on to a C8 Z51 Stingray. I bought this right before Christmas last year, and as you can see, it looks absolutely stunning. I love this kind of cool gray, or space gray, I believe it's called, and it's nice. It's a Johnny Lightning model, which is quite unique. For those who grew up in the 2000s or in the 90s, you know what this car is. This is, of course, a very unique Civic Si. This is from Hot Wheels. And these are really, really cool cars. I remember when I was playing Need for Speed Underground 2 many, many, many years ago. Can't believe now it's been 20 years. That I would definitely put some mods and customize the Civic just like this in the game, and it was just really cool to see that. And of course, you even have some cool details, like of course you have this carbon fiber hood, you have the red interior, you have these very unique wheels here which look nice, and of course you do have this spoiler in the back, which it does give off a very nice look. Next up, we are moving on to a 1960s Volkswagen Beetle, the original Beetle, not the first original Beetle, but one of the original ones. And I love the color, I love the look, and yes, this one even has a little tow hitch in the back of this one here, which certainly does look pretty cool in my opinion. We now move on to the Ford F-150 Lariat. I believe this is a Johnny Lightning, or let me actually see what one this is. This is a Auto World model, as you can see here. Looks nice. I love the detail. This one does have the Sport Appearance package, does have the FX4 Off-Road package. You can see there, it does look really, really good. And it's nice. I love the trim on top of there, which also, again, signifies that this is the Sport Appearance package that comes with the Lariat. Next up, say what you will about the Mustang Mach-E, but I have a Mustang Mach-E. This, of course, is, I believe, a select trim level. It looks nice. I love this kind of Ford blue color. You have the black rooftop on there, which is nice. I love the look of it, and certainly it does look pretty impressive. Next up, a company that really no longer exists anymore in the States, but it's still pretty nice. This is a Karma GS6 from Matchbox. So for those of you who don't remember, Karma was a car company that existed in the mid-2000s, I believe from 2007 to 2009, and they went bankrupt, and then they came back with the Revero, and of course, they have that new model here, which hasn't done well for them at all. But this was one of the more unique models to come out, and it does look pretty good. So this is the Karma, but this is the more up-to-date version of that model. Next up, we have a classic Land Cruiser here. Now, this thing is beautiful. This is a, if I'm not mistaken, an FJ60 series Land Cruiser. Very nice and very cool looking. Just takes me back to when, you know, Toyotas were simpler and they didn't have all this technology and everything. But I just love the look of it. Kind of gives it a timeless throwback design and everything. It just looks really, really impressive and overall just quite nice. We now move on to the second section here, and this is all going to consist of Shmeemobiles. Of course, if you know Shmeemobiles, you know Shmee150, the YouTuber. And we're starting off here with his then known G63 AMG. This, of course, is a very unique color, very unique vehicle. And as you can tell, you do have the very nice blacked out roof. You do have the blacked out wheels. You do have the blue color. Of course, that's kind of his favorite. That's kind of his favorite color. And of course, you do have the spare tire with the casing in the back. And this is courtesy of Tarmac Works. And so as you can see, he did a collab with them for several models, this just being one of them. And of course, this one does have the SH63 MEE personalization plate. Next up, we have the SLS AMG Black Series here. As you can see, he still has this car currently in his collection. And as you can see, it looks nice, whether you're watching on YouTube or if you have one of these as a collector's car, it does look really good. And, you know, it's kind of unique to see how Mercedes has fared or has come out as far as making, you know, these kind of unique AMG models, although they've changed up the formula quite a bit now for the future. But overall, this one still looks really nice. Next up is Shmee's Shelby GT500. He still has this one, although it's here in the States. As you can see here, you do have the black and red pinstripes. You do have the lime green color. You do have the black, or in this case, I believe in his one is a carbon fiber hood, or not hood, a roof, carbon fiber roof. You do have the rear wing in the back, which looks nice. And I mean, the green is what really sets off this car well, and I have to say, it's very nice. It's really, really nice to see. So, the AMG G63, the SLS AMG Black Series, and the Shelby GT500 are replicas of Shmee150's cars that he's either had or currently has, and they're all courtesy of Tarmac Works. Of course, you can still pick up a few of them as of right now. Moving on here, we do have two different vehicles. We do have a fire truck. This is from Hot Wheels, and it does look nice. Hot Wheels has always been known for customizing different vehicles and kind of making them stand out in ways more than meets the eye. And it also does have a ladder, which, as you can see, kind of pulls out like that. So it's a fire truck, but also does what a fire truck normally does. So you have the engine, you have all the components, you have everything. Underneath here looks really nice as well, and overall looks quite good. We move on, of course, to a tow truck, also from Hot Wheels. Looks really, really nice, as you can see there. It does say TW Towing. Has a little tow thing back here. I love the wheels. I love the look of it. Looks very unique in a way, and something you don't see every day either. Next up, we have probably one of the most reliable cars in the entire collection, and I say that because for 30 years, this car was a reliable vehicle for Volvo, and this, of course, is none other than the Volvo 240. The 240, I believe, ran from the mid-60s all the way to about 1994, and when this car was in production, this was one of the safest cars you could buy at the time. Literally, this was one of Volvo's biggest sellers, and their number one priority when they came on to selling this car was safety. So a lot of things were implemented onto this car that would later become significant on other Volvo models. So pretty cool to have this in the collection. Next up, this is, I believe, an RX. Yeah, this is an RX-7. I sometimes get confused with the RX-7 that came out after this, or in this case, if this is like an RX-7 Savannah. I believe this is a Savannah model. You can probably tell by the wheels. You do have the pop-up headlights. You do have the hood scoop. As you can see, this is also courtesy of Hot Wheels as well. Looks nice, and it definitely gives off a unique look. Next up, we have a Dodge Challenger. This one, I believe, is an SRT Demon. In this, hell-raising color, I believe it's what it's called, or I could be definitely wrong on that. But as you can see here, you do have the, in real life, this would be the carbon fiber roof. You do have the carbon fiber top here, which looks amazing, as well as the trunk end here. And I mean, I love, love, love this orange. It looks really cool. And of course, you do have the hood scoops right there, which again, attention to detail is probably one of the best things about this car as well. Well, everyone, the video got cut off again for some reason, but we're going to continue on. And starting things off, we're going to be taking a look at cars that I've collected over the summer. And we're going to start things off here with a McLaren Senna. Now, the Senna has to be one of my favorite McLarens right now. McLaren hasn't really been my cup of tea in the last few years, but if there's one model, if anyone were to ask me what model McLaren I personally like, or which model I would probably get if I had an unlimited amount of money, I would probably say the Senna, because the Senna to me really just shows what craftsmanship and what engineering can be from a British company. And as you can tell, the Senna here just looks amazing. Although it's completely blacked out, you do have unique wheels, and it looks pretty nice. And then, of course, you have the rear end here, which looks pretty cool, and the wing right here, which is pretty impressive too. So this one here is from Hot Wheels, and I like it. Now, with that being said, this is a Koenigsegg. Now, this is a Jesco. I am getting a little confused sometimes, or I do get confused sometimes, looking at this, thinking that this is a Gamera, but it's not a Gamera. It's a Jesco, and this is really cool. I have to say, the purple looks nice. I love the details. I love the wing in the back here. The wheels look really nice, as you can see there. And just overall, the Koenigsegg Jesco, or Jesco as it's pronounced, really just looks pretty amazing for what it is. So to me, it's really cool. And this one is also from Hot Wheels. Now, say what you will about the Civic Type R, the FL5, but this one in particular was really hard to find because there were 3 different variants of Type Rs that I was considering. I was considering the Pop Race, which is what we're looking at here, Hobby Japan, and then I believe the last one was, I don't remember what the last one was, but there were 3 different versions, and it was either Hobby Japan or this, and I'm glad I chose this. This is a blue FL5 Civic Type R, and I have to say it looks awesome. I have to be completely honest here. I love the detail, love the wheels, love the wing in the back. I also do love the way how this looks, as you can see there. I know the camera can really show it well, but you do have the back end, which looks nice. And overall, just the way that this car looks is just simplistically really, really cool. So with that said, Civic Type R here. We then move on to another Honda product, which in this case is one of the most iconic cars from the 90s, this being the NA1, or not NA1, the at the time first generation Acura NSX. As you can see here, you do have the black roof, you do have the Phoenix Yellow, which I believe this is what it was called back in 1990. You have the unique and kind of customized wheels here. The rear end looks good on this one here. As you can see, you do even have the little spoiler back here as well. But overall, it does look very impressive and overall quite nice. We then move on, of course, to a Nissan R33 Skyline. Very cool to see. And of course, this promoted the Godzilla movie that came out earlier this summer, which, as you can see, looks really cool in detail. And of course, it's a Hot Wheels car. Very, very nice. And you do have the iconic rear end back here as well, with a spoiler. And the GTR badge to the right there, although you can't really see it all that well. We'll try and zoom it in or bring the camera in a little bit, but it's not showing it. There you go. You can see where it says GTR. It looks really, really cool. And it's something you don't see every day unless you import one. Next up is going to be Mazda. Now, Mazdas are pretty hard to find, in my opinion, because you have to be very, very particulate when it comes on the details. And I wasn't impressed with what I was seeing from Hot Wheels. This is a Matchbox model, and as you can see, it's the Mazda 3 hatch, one of Mazda's best sellers right now. And as you can tell, these are really cool to see. Now, this, I believe, is finished off in snow. It's not Snow White Pearl. It's not Rhodium White either. It's one of their basic white colors. But as you can see, it does look nice, though. It does have the blackout rims here. Underneath here looks nice as well. So just simply a pretty basic car. This is another FJ60 Series Land Cruiser that I got recently. As you can see here, this is a part of a Hot Wheels premium package, which you can go to your local Target or any grocery store that sells toys, and you can pick one of these up. And I love the green. I love the little trim on the doors. It looks nice. And of course, you have the rear end, of course, which looks really good too. So as you can see, it does look pretty amazing as well. And then come over here, we do have a Chevy X11. This is, I forgot what this is called. It's a Johnny Lightning Chevrolet. Don't remember what this car is called, but it's cool. This kit was a very popular car in the 80s, actually. It's a 82 Chevrolet X11 something. I don't remember the actual model name of this car, but it does look really cool. And I love the dark green here, which really gives off a very unique look as well, in my opinion. And then we come down to some more recent purchases. As you guys can see here, starting off with the NSX. This is from Hot Wheels, and although I have a bigger scale version of this car, it's kind of cool to get the championship white version, as you can see here. Not really a fan of the gold wheels, but it does look nice, although it doesn't look all that bad. And overall, it's a pretty normal car. Next up is, yes, a Jag. And say what you will about the new Jaguar advertisements and talk about how bad the commercial was and everything, but this is still, I think, quintessentially one of the coolest Jaguars to come out from the brand in the modern era. The F-Type here, this is the reimagined F-Type that went on sale 3 years ago, and I have to say, I love the red, I love the taillights, I love the wheels, and just looking at it, as you can see here, it does look really, really impressive, and I much rather have this than the one they were selling before. And I believe this is also, this is also a Hot Wheels model as well. I just bought this yesterday, and this car, I am a fan of the SUV, which is the R1S, but this is a Rivian R1T. Now, these are everywhere. You've seen one on the road, you know what I'm talking about, and these things are pretty cool. Now, with that said, if I were to buy an electric vehicle, I would probably more so buy a Rivian first, maybe a Tesla second or last, maybe even a Ford Mustang Mach-E second. But this is just really cool. This comes from a company that just started a few years ago, and people are flocking over to Rivian and buying their products. And this one here is going to be a keeper for a long time, and it'll be around for as long as I can keep it. So to me, I love Rivians. I really do. This, of course, is the newer generation S650 Mustang GT. This is a Matchbox moving parts vehicle because you can open up the hood of this one. As you can see, it's finished off here in red. Does have the unique grille, does have the very unique wheels. You even have a little spoiler back here, which looks nice, and it's pretty cool. And then the very last car here is going to be a Nissan Pathfinder. This is the first year of the Nissan Pathfinder. This is a 1985 Nissan Pathfinder. And as you can see, this thing looks absolutely amazing. You do have a lot of detail here. You have the spare in the back. You have the taillights here, which look very detailed. The wheels are period correct. The interior is period correct as well. And it just looks absolutely amazing to see. So pretty cool seeing that. And so, guys, that's a quick look at all the cars that I've collected between last year and so far this year. But we have 3 more to go through. And so we start off here with the first one, and that, of course, is a 1971 Chevrolet Camaro SS350. And it comes in this very nice, cool display box from M2 Collectibles. My first time actually getting something from this company. And it says here, we've learned a lot from Corvette. We've been building the Corvette for 18 years now, and it's still America's only 2-seat production sports car. And for the last 5 years, we've been building Camaro. And for the last 5 years, we've been building Camaro, our 4-seat sporty car. Over the years, we've learned a lot about axle control, engine efficiency, springing, steering, weight distribution, and aerodynamics from Corvette. And we've applied all our learning to the design and engineering of Camaro. Like Corvette, Camaro has a standard bucket seats in front, wide base wheels and tires, a 4-matic transmission, disc brakes. In front and extras, you can order like spoilers, stabilizer bars, positive traction, and a tachometer. Like Corvette, Camaro has a rope-hugging suspension, but unlike Corvette, Camaro has a back seat, two bucket-style back seats. Here's the point. We've learned a lot about sports cars from Corvette, and Camaro proves it. Here it is, Camaro. Again, 1971 Chevrolet Camaro SS350, courtesy of M2 Collectibles. And then these two I just got today, or recently by the time you guys are watching this. This is a new packaging for Matchbox vehicles going into 2025. And this is, of course, going to be on the new generation Toyota Prius. This is a 2023 Toyota Prius Prime, still in packaging, and it looks pretty good. And as you can see, looks very, very impressive, as you guys can see here. Now, like I said, this is an all-new packaging for 25, so let's say if I were to show you guys an older packaging, it would not have the lighter color down here, wouldn't really show what car this is down here. It would more so say that up here. So Matchbox has kind of changed up the game a little bit for 2025, and this is just one of their newest models. And last but not least, I got myself a Subaru Forester. This one here happens to be a sport model. And to me, I liked what they've done with the new Forester here. This is more detailed. This is a little bit nicer than, let's say, a few years ago. Because I remember maybe a year or two ago when they were selling these, they were not very detailed. And even the Hot Wheels versions didn't look all that great. But this looks a whole lot better. And I'm glad, as you can see here for 25, Subaru does have a dedicated version, or in this case, they have a dedicated diecast model that you can pick up at any grocery store. But with that said, guys, that's going to do it here for this video. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. And with that said, happy hunting.